The next time that the Denver Broncos lose a game,
That'll never happen. You can't beat my team.
Scorched earth.
How are you going to beat the Broncos?
Listen, Packers are better than the Broncos, and I'll tell you why. Packers whooped the Steelers, who beat the Colts, who you lost to. Boom. Done. Packers still on top. GPS, Tom Grossi, Brandon Perna, blah, 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 blah.
Ever heard of leverage, Tom?
Yeah. Nugget with a fitting.
Ooh, Nuggets.
Heap.
Don't blink. If you're a blinker, cut your eyelids off.
Yes.
Pounding.
Yeah, pretty much everybody eats bread.
Pretty much everybody eats that bread.
Having a great time. Yeah. Packers lost. Lions lost to J.J. McCarthy and the Vikings, so that saved my Sunday. I'm not going to lie.
I swear, I really thought we were both going to come into today talking about how our teams have kind of mirrored each other again, Tom, because this season, it's been like very similar, Broncos and Packers, and how they're kind of winning or losing, right?
Oh, yeah. I know.
And both of our teams were playing these like frustrating games. And both of our teams were trailing, not by a lot, by just enough for like that first half, like, God. And then I saw we tied, and then you guys tied up the game. I'm like, oh, shit, it's going to happen again. But then Bryce Young led a game-winning drive against you guys, and then the Broncos got their game-winning drive.
Freaking curse wheel.
What happened? What happened to... Why did the Packers lose that game?
Yeah, there's a litany of reasons. And honestly, like, it was failures in every aspect of the game. So let's talk about the offense first, right? The blocking was atrocious at times yesterday. Like, truly, there was a time where they did a wide receiver screen, and there were a bunch of those. They did a wide receiver screen, and there was 3 receivers in front blocking. None of them blocked. Tucker Kraft, it's feared that he tore his ACL, which would be a huge loss for the Packers. Jordan Love did not play a great game. You know, he had a really bad interception. He threw it into triple coverage, and it would just sail to the right, and it went right to the defender. So that was tough, and he should have had a second interception in the end zone. On top of that, Matt LaFleur's play calling was not great yesterday. So they went for it on 4th and 8 from, like, I think they were inside the 20. I think they were in the red zone. And they, instead of taking the points, which would have made a difference here, they decided to go for on 4th and 8. He came out during the press conference, was like, yep, that was just a bad play call. So you have all of that right on the offense, that they were very ineffective. And usually they've been coming to life in the second half, especially in the fourth quarter. And that just did not happen. They scored their only touchdown then. So you have a 3-point swing with LaFleur decided to go for it on 4th and 8. That didn't make sense. And the offense not playing well. Then you look at the defense. Micah Parsons, for the first time in his career, 0 pressures. And this is against an offensive line that had all game. So 0 pressures. They only got 1 sack, and it was Xavier McKinney who also had an interception. And so they were barely getting pressure on Bryce Young, and that offensive line has shuffled more than any other team in the league. So the defense, and of course the run defense, which is supposed to be one of the best, Rico Dowdle ran all over them. He had a phenomenal game. He went 25 carries for 130 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he had a really, really good game. Then on top of that, McManus missed another kick. And so he missed another field goal. And so there's problems with him too. So special teams, defense, offense, complete failure. Jordan Love loses on his birthday. Sad day.
On his 27th birthday.
On his 27th birthday. You got to give the Panthers credit, man, because you mentioned Bryce Young, man. He threw 102 yards, 11 for 20, an interception in the end zone. He did not have a great passing game, but the offensive line did a great job protecting. They gave it to Rico, because you and I have been talking about this on GPS, right? The fact that Rico was splitting carries with Hubbard the past couple weeks, and look what happened to them
seen all season.
Exactly. And before this week, of course, they come out and say, oh, well, we're going to give the ball to Rico nonstop. They gave the ball to Rico nonstop, and they couldn't do anything.
Yeah. Do you think Jordan Love losing on his 27th birthday means he will be the first Packers QB to not win a Super Bowl at age 27?
I think it means that they're going to win a Super Bowl even harder now. Because you know what, Brandon?
You sound like me. Delusional.
At this point, if the Packers Monday Night Football are playing against the Philadelphia Eagles. Okay. So I'm glad we looked so good in this game before then going against the defending Super Bowl champs.
Yeah.
It would make all the sense in the world, in that it wouldn't make any sense if the Packers go out and beat the Eagles now on Monday night after losing to the Panthers, because I think that's where we are this season. And the Packers, it's so frustrating because, again, last week, after they decimated the Steelers in the second half of that game, the defense was looking good. Jordan Love was on fire. The offense was clicking. Everything was rolling. This is the same team. And that's been the problem from week to week, is they're just not consistent and they're just not the same team every single week. However, you can make the argument for a lot of teams, unfortunately, that are also having problems with consistency, because there was a lot of teams I thought that were going to win yesterday that did not.
Yeah. You guys kind of got the cursed number 16 in there too.
So not ideal. Steelers got a Super Bowl. Where has this Steelers defense been? Where did this come from? Right?
6 turnovers? Come on.
6.
Well, the Colts were cursed by the curse wheel, so.
Yeah, I'm aware. And apparently you spun a little curse wheel too, and that cursed the Packers.
I don't think it landed on the Packers.
That's what I was told yesterday.
Curse wheel falls off every episode.
Fair. I like having a little spawn curse wheel too.
Yeah. People told me to send you the little curse wheel.
Oh, I'll burn it.
No, so you could try and curse me. I said, why would I do that?
It's, you know what? I don't think that there's any destiny that's attached to that, but I think it goes to show we got to have a lot of season left. There is a ton of football that we're halfway through, man. And what these teams have done, now we're starting to get into the deep water. We're getting into November and eventually December football. And that's where we're going to start to see, like, okay, these are the teams that are ready for the postseason. And we're just, ain't there yet. But Packers beat the Eagles. We have a different, we're feeling a lot better. LaFleur's still not on the hot seat. No, the organization is not going to fire him. They're just not going to do it again, as long as he doesn't lose every single game the rest of the season. And it's hard to tell if this is just like a very vocal, small amount of fans that are just like, oh my God, fire, or if there's like the actual belief. Because again, who are you replacing him with?
No, it's the small group of fans.
But regardless, you could have both, because there's nuance in this world. Matt LaFleur coached a really bad game yesterday. And there have been times throughout the season where he's made some really big mistakes in play calling. And there's times where he's done really well too.
Yeah. He's
got to get better. The whole team's got to get better.
What's the matter?
It just got confirmed. It's a torn ACL for Kraft.
Yeah. They usually know. That does suck, because
Tucker Kraft out for the year.
Tucker's my favorite Packer.
Dude, he's just so much fun. And he had a baller week last week. Yeah, I mean, the thing is, like, so Luke Musgrave and Tucker Kraft, they were drafted at the same time, and Musgrave was assumed to be tight end 1, but then Musgrave got hurt and Tucker Kraft just never gave it back. They utilized Musgrave a little bit yesterday, so I think that that's just going to be the game plan going forward and trying to see if he can get back to being tight end 1. But that's a huge loss, man. Oh, that sucks so much.